unquestionably bona fide. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Small investment for a large fortune. Sign right here, sir. I'm afraid, Sonny, you're not of age.
Just where do you think you're going?
I got a new business. Sawdust.
Sawdust?
For the saloon floor. They pay a nickel a bag.
Daniel, I thought we agreed you weren't going to hang around the saloon.
I ain't hanging around, Pa. I'm delivering.
Well, you just deliver right back to the carpenter shop.
But, Pa, I just swapped for this roof. Gave Tommy Davis 6 firewood customers for the silver slipper and the bucket of blood.
No saloons, Daniel. You just stick to selling frog legs to the cafe.
Yes, sir. Sure cuts down my profits.
We told you before. Get out.
Oh, no.
You won't be needing these supplies because you're leaving.
Stay here, Daniel.
Getting out like I told you. I'm telling you two for the last time. Get off of that claim you're working or we'll drive you off.
What's the trouble, Cusack?
We're trying to get rid of these scavengers. They're working that old mine near the Glover diggings.
We're not scavengers. The mine is ours.
That's right. They staked a claim 3 years ago when the mine was abandoned.
Scavenger claims don't count in my book.
They count in the town book. That's all I'm interested in.
You better take that up with Mr. Glover, Sheriff. He's the one that wants them off.
It's their mine and they stay. You bother them again, Cusack, and I'll jail you.
Okay, Sheriff. But like I said, you better take it up with Mr. Glover. We don't give the orders.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I'll help you with this. I thought I told you to stay put.
I was just listening, Pa.
You're always just where you can get hurt. Don't I have enough worries?
Mr. Glover's the most important man in town. He ain't gonna like you going against him, Pa.
I don't expect him to.
Well, what are you gonna do?
Whatever I do, I don't want you mixing in. It's too dangerous.
Yes, sir. There sure is gonna be a lot of trouble.
Welcome back to Glover House, Mr. Barkley.
Thank you, Charles.
It's good to see you looking so well. It's been a long time.
Almost 6 years. You know, the last time I came through that door, little Janice was sliding down that banister at me.
She's quite a young lady now.
I'll bet she is.
You wouldn't recognize her.
Jared, my boy. Hello, Sidney.
How are you? It's good to see you again.
It's good to see you. I've been looking forward to it.
Charles, would you put Mr. Barkley's things in the East Wing, please?
Yes, sir.
Come inside, Jared. I've got a bottle of champagne waiting.
Good.
Yeah, this merger calls for celebration.
That it does.
Family well?
Oh, they're fine. Just fine, Sidney.
Merger papers all in order?
I've got them right in here and ready to be signed.
Good.
Can that possibly be Janice?
Yes. Had it painted 3 months ago, just before she went back east to finishing school. Beautiful, isn't she?
She certainly is. It's kind of hard to believe that that's the same little girl who used to beg me for ice cream.
Sometimes I wish she were still that same little girl. She's all I've got, Jared. I don't mind admitting this house is just a bit lonesome without her.
I could imagine it is.
The merger of the Barkley Glover silver mines.
To the merger.
Come in. Yes, Charles, what is it?
Sheriff Barrett is here to see you, sir. He says it's important.
The sheriff?
Yes, sir.
You mind, Jared?
No, not at all.
All right, Charles, have him come in.
Yes, sir.
You have a sheriff here now, huh? The last time I was here, all you had was a miner's court.
Yes, we hired him 3 years ago. Town's been growing so fast, we had to get some regular protection, especially for the property owners. Afternoon, Sheriff.
Afternoon, Mr. Glover. Sorry to bother you.
Well, that's all right. Gives me a chance to thank you for catching those night riders last week. They've been getting away with a lot of ore.
No thanks necessary.
This is Mr. Barkley. Jared, Dave Barrett.
Nice to meet you, Sheriff.
Same here. Barkley mine?
That's right. Well, Sheriff, what can I do for you?
It's about that old mine between your claim and the Barkley diggings.
The one those Chinese are working?
Mm-hmm.
What about it?
2 of your men threatened them, told them to get off. They said they were acting under your orders.
Yes, that's right. We need that old mine. You see, the Barkleys and I are merging. We're planning to extend those tunnels and join our main shafts.
You can't do that. That mine was abandoned because the ore was low grade, left open to scavengers.
Temporarily, yes. But now we need it again.
The mine belongs to Wong Lo.
This must be some kind of a joke, Sheriff. What is the law on that point, Jared?
Well, most mining laws state that temporarily means 14 days. After that, the shaft is open for reclaiming by anyone.
But my crew dug that tunnel.
Unfortunately, Sidney, that doesn't have any bearing.
Wong Lo and his wife have been working that mine for 3 years. Their claim is on the town books. They've got a right to stay there.
A right? There wouldn't be any tunnel if I hadn't opened it up. And there won't be any town if those mines shut down.
What do you mean, shut down?
You see, Sheriff, our tunnels are getting so deep that we can't work them anymore without extra ventilation. We need that old mine for an air shaft so we can continue to use them.
Those diggings are the biggest in the lode. If they shut down, it'll bankrupt hundreds of people. There won't be any rim fire. Don't you understand, Sheriff?
Of course I understand. But you'll have to find some other way to keep them open. You just can't take Wong Lo's claim.
You mean you would let this town die for a scavenger? Whose side are you on, Sheriff?
When it's night riders, I'm on your side. When it's claim jumping, I'm with Wong Lo.
Now, wait a minute, Sheriff. We don't have any intentions of breaking the law. Look, Sidney, as long as this man has a legal claim, why don't we simply make him an offer and buy him out?
Jared, I'm not much for buying what already belongs to me.
I can understand that. But legally, there's no choice.
You sure of that?
Yes, I'm sure.
All right. If it'll save trouble, go ahead and make him an offer. But if he won't sell...
Now, maybe we won't have to cross that bridge.
I hope not, Mr. Barkley. Because if you do, I'll be in the middle of it.
Morning. You are Wong Lo? My name is Jared Barkley. I'm one of the owners of the Barkley mine.
I have heard. Soon you will join us to the mine of Glover?
That's right. As a matter of fact, that's what I came to talk to you about.
Have you come with threats, Mr. Barkley?
I don't believe in threats, Wong Lo. I've come to make you an offer.
An offer?
Mr. Glover and I would like to buy your mine.
You will buy what you tried to take?
That was a mistake that I had no part of, Wong Lo. We'll give you a fair price, whatever you think your mine is worth.
Glover deals in blows. You in words. Neither will drive me out, Mr. Barkley. The mine is not for sale.
Now, wait a minute, Wong Lo. This is an honest offer. I've come in friendship. You must believe that.
The message of the hawk is seldom brought by a dove, Mr. Barkley.
Food's ready, Pa.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Daniel. Boy, I'm hungry as a prospector's mule. What are we having?
Rabbit stew.
Again?
Well, you like it, don't you?
Well, sure, but 3 times in a row?
What's the matter with that?
Well, you ever thought of having beef stew or chicken?
Chickens cost too much. Besides, I got the rabbits free.
Free.
Sure, trapped 'em.
Well, I hope you sure don't go to trapping bear. You know, you shouldn't be cooking anyway. You know where you should be? In school.
In school? But there ain't one. Anyhow, what for?
You're going on 11 years old now, Daniel. It's time you learn something besides mines and saloons.
You're teaching me, ain't you? I do sums every day.
Yeah, but sums and reading aren't enough. You need geography and history and things that take a real teacher.
What do you mean? You're a real teacher.
No, I mean somebody that studied it. Like they have in the big schools back east. Or in Stockton.
I can't go clear to Stockton just to go to school. Who'd cook for you?
Well, I'd eat at the cafe.
Their food's no good.
I get used to it. Got used to rabbit stew, didn't I?
I better wait till we get a school here. If I go to Stockton, it'll ruin my frog business.
Sheriff?
Oh, in here, Mr. Barkley.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt your meal.
Oh, that's all right. Mr. Barkley, it's my son, Daniel.
Hello, Daniel. I'm pleased to meet you.
Yes, sir. Me too.
What can I do for you?
I've come to talk to you about Wong Lo.
Have you seen him yet?
Yes, I've seen him, but I didn't get very far with him. He's not exactly what I'd call friendly.
Well, that's because folks have been so mean to him and his wife. He's really nice once you know him. He gives us kids rice cakes and paper...
Daniel?
Oh, yes, sir. I forgot.
Why don't we talk in the office?
Sheriff, how well do you know Wong Lo?
Line of duty, mainly. Why?
Well, do you think that if you went out with me to that mine, you could get him to just listen?
Maybe. But I'm not going back out there with you, Mr. Barkley. If he doesn't want to sell, that's his business.
I understand that, Sheriff. I just want him to understand how important that mine is to this town.
I still don't think I should interfere.
I'm not asking you to interfere. I just want him to hear me out.
It's too much like forcing him, Mr. Barkley. Wong's had enough of that.
All right, Sheriff. I'll go out and try to talk to him again by myself. But I think you're making a mistake.
Sure hope Wong listens to him, Pa.
Hmm?
Because if he don't listen, Mr. Glover's gonna act. And somebody's liable to get hurt.
That's another thing they teach you in school, Daniel. Not to listen in on other people's conversations. Miss Barkley? I've changed my mind. I'm coming with you.
I appreciate that, Sheriff.
Sheriff, we are very grateful, very grateful.
Yes, we thank you. And you also, Mr. Barkley.
Pleasure to be of service.
That thing's too heavy to move by hand, Wong. You ought to get yourself a mule.
Mules are expensive, Sheriff. When a man has no money, he must depend upon his own strength.
Yeah, well, money's what we've come to talk to you about. Mr. Barkley wants to talk to you some more.
About selling the mine?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to take sides in this thing, Wong. What you do is your own business. But that offer that Mr. Barkley made you before it's important for a lot of reasons. I wish you'd listen to him before you make up your mind.
All I want you to do is hear me out, Wong Lo.
My husband, they have been kind. It will do no harm just to listen to them.
Very well. Since you think it is best, I will listen.
Wong Lo, do you know what a choke tunnel is?
It is very deep and very hot.
That's exactly right. So deep and so hot that men can't work down there. Well, the Barkley tunnels are almost that deep right now, and the vein is still descending. The Glover mine is in the same condition.
You know how much those shifts are changing? Whistles blowing all day long. Men can't stand it down there more than an hour at a time.
We need your claim so that we can dig cross tunnels for more ventilation.
Ling and I need it also, Mr. Barkley, to make a living.
I can understand that. But I can guarantee you a substantial price for it so you can buy another business.
Where, Mr. Barkley?
Here, anywhere you want. It'll be a handsome profit, I promise you.
And if somebody decides they want that business, will we be asked to sell it also? When Lynn and I came here 3 years ago, we only had a cart and sapling. We found the tunnel, planted the sapling. Now we have a mine and a fine tree of heaven. It is difficult to put down roots, then leave them, Mr. Barkley.
It's difficult to ask you to, believe me. But it's not just for company profits. It's for everybody in the town.
Ling and I are not treated like everybody. Would like to help you. But we need roots. We cannot sell the mine. The day passes. We must complete our work.
Wasting your time. All those scavengers understand is force. But don't worry, they'll get out.
Not that way. We'll just have to find some other way to ventilate those tunnels.
There is no other way. I've already talked to the best mining engineers.
Well, I'm sorry, Sidney. I cannot agree to force.
All right, then find some legal way, some loophole. Don't tell me you're squeamish about loopholes, too.
Yes, I am, when they involve human rights.
Well, Jared, this is no time to shilly-shally. There's too much at stake.
I couldn't agree with you more.
All right. The circuit judge will be here tomorrow. We'll let him settle it. Incidentally, he's an old friend of mine. I'll see you at dinner.
It's got to be there somewhere, Judge Power. We know the claim was registered.
Oh, yes, here it is. Hello? Lang? I thought you said the name is Wang.
That's his wife. He registered it on Chinese New Year's. Put it in her name as sort of a gift. Actually, it belongs to both of them.
I see.
Those books were drawn up by a bunch of miners, Nathan, when Rimfire was just a camp.
The old miners' regulations are as valid as law, Sidney, and the state recognizes them as such, even now that you're incorporated as a district. I thought you said these people have been working this mine for 3 years.
They have?
According to the date here, they didn't register their claim until 6 months ago.
Wong doesn't know much about our laws, Judge. It took him a while to find out about staking claims.
Well, that's your loophole, Sidney. Under the State Exclusion Acts, aliens can't own property even when it's registered according to local mining laws. The acts went through last year, a couple of months before this claim was entered.
Well, Jared, that should simplify things.
I'm surprised you didn't check that date, Mr. Barkley. As a lawyer, you should be familiar with these new acts.
I am, Judge, thoroughly. I lobbied against them.
How soon can we evict them, Nathan?
48 hours. All you have to do is re-register your previous claim.
All right, Sheriff, notify them.
Is that a court order, Judge Power?
Yes, Sheriff.
Congratulations, gentlemen.
Mr. Barkley. Is this the library?
That's right.
Sure is big.
Come on in.
I'm looking for Mr. Glover. The cook said he was here.
Well, he was, but he had to go into town, take care of some business. He should be back in a couple of hours. Is there something I can do for you?
Will you give him a message?
Sure will.
Tell him that I won't be delivering his firewood anymore.
His firewood?
He's on my roof. I bring it every day. Nickel low. Made a deal with his cook a long time ago.
Oh.
You probably don't know it, but I've been delivering his frog legs. I'll have to get one of the other kids for that, too.
I see. Won't that put quite a dent in your business? Mr. Glover must be one of your best customers.
Yes, sir. But I still won't be delivering them. Even if the other kids don't bring fresh ones and he gets sick on them.
Why is that, Daniel? Because of Wong Lo?
Wong Lo and Pa both.
You want me to tell him that, too?
Yes, sir. Tell him everything.
Daniel, there's something I'd very much like you to understand. I don't like this business any better than you do.
Mr. Glover likes it. And you're merging with him.
When I started that merger, I didn't know Wong Lo or anyone else would be affected. If I had any choice, he wouldn't be now. But I can't help it, Daniel. You see, that old mine belongs to Mr. Glover, so he has the right to do anything he wants to with it. That's the law.
I don't care if it is the law. It's wrong.
No, Daniel, it's not wrong. It's... Well, you see, the law isn't perfect. It can't cover everything.
That mine's all Wong Lo has. Don't Mr. Glover care about anybody but himself?
Of course he does. It's just that...
He sure wanted Pa to care all right when he and that committee met.
What committee?
After Ma died, Pa decided that we was going back to Philadelphia to live. Then Mr. Glover and the committee came and said that the town needed protection. Pa was the best person for the job. Everybody realized it. Because winning the Medal of Honor during the war proved that he wasn't afraid of nothing.
Your Pa won the Medal of Honor?
Yes, sir.
He's right.
Then why ain't it protecting Wong Lo?
Well, it's like I said, Daniel. The law's not perfect. In this case, it favors Mr. Glover over Wong Lo.
What good is it if it favors one man over another? If it don't cover what's right? What good's Pa being a sheriff? Or you being a lawyer? What good is it?
Come here, Daniel. Sit down. You see, the law tries to be just. But if it isn't, it's usually because the people involved don't care enough to change it.
You're involved, Mr. Barkley. Can't you help some way?
I wish I could. But I'm sworn to uphold the law as it stands, just like your Pa, whether I like it or not.
Well, anyhow, tell Mr. Glover about the deliveries. Will you, sir?
It doesn't belong to you.
Doesn't belong to us. But it is written in the book like all the others.
It was written too late. They passed some new laws. Only citizens can own property.
This is true, Sheriff? Really true? Yes, it must be so. Otherwise, you would not say it. The tree has taken root, but we have not. It is always so, Sheriff. Ling was born in this country, and I have spent most of my life here. But we are driven from place to place, like leaves in the seasonal winds.
What was that you said about Ling? That she was born here?
In San Francisco. Her mother was a servant in a rich house.
Whose house? What's the name?
Hamilton. Donald Hamilton.
What does this mean? Why?
You stay right here, Wong Lo. Understand? Stay right here till I get back.
Nevertheless, you were ordered to evict those people, not to question.
I can't evict them. Ling Han is an American citizen.
What? I don't believe it. They'd say anything to keep that claim.
She was born in San Francisco, a few months after her mother went to work for the Hamilton family.
Do you have proof of that?
Dates all filed in the city record building. Here's a telegraph. Donald Hamilton verifying it.
Well, that's good enough for me. I know Hamilton, and he wouldn't verify anything that isn't true. So, since Ling is a citizen, that settles that.
Not for me, it doesn't. My crew dug that tunnel, and I'm not giving it up for any pair of scavengers. I don't care where they were born. Sheriff, Judge Power issued an order evicting those people. I demand you carry out that order.
I can't. Ling owns that mine legal and clear.
All right, Sheriff. If they're not out by the specified time, my men will do it for you.
They can try. They'll come up against me and my deputies.
Very well, Sheriff. If that's the way you want it.
It's not the way I want it. It's the way it is.
Sidney, I've already told you I'll have no part of this.
I don't understand you, Jared. What is it? You feel you owe these people something because you have more than they do? Is that it?
It's much simpler than that. I have respect for the law.
Oh, fiddlesticks. You may be willing to close down your tunnels, but I'm not going to close down mine. Merger or no merger.
Then there's no point in staying here any longer.
No, there isn't. Why don't you just go?
Hello, boys.
How are you, Sheriff?
Hi, Sheriff.
I'm looking for deputies. Anybody got time to help?
What's the job?
Protecting a mine?
You mean protecting scavengers, don't you, Dave?
Pays 50 cents a day.
They ain't worth 5 a day.
That's right.
I'm not looking for opinions. I'm offering jobs. You want to work or not?
I'll work, but not for any scavengers.
Same here. Dave, that was Glover's mine in the first place. He wants it back. I figure he's got a right.
Yeah. Ain't nobody gonna side with scavengers, Sheriff.
They go for all of you?
That he does.
Thanks anyway.
Obeying the law doesn't seem to be too popular around here, Sheriff.
I thought Mr. Glover's guests did all their drinking in his drawing room, Mr. Barkley.
It seems I'm not Mr. Glover's guest anymore. We had a little difference of opinion.
Oh?
Unfortunately, he doesn't seem to agree with some of my convictions.
Which are?
Similar to yours, apparently.
What about the merger?
That's off, too.
Pa! Pa, they've got one low.
Got him? What do you mean?
There's a fight down at the mine.
Go home, Daniel.
Please don't. Let him go, please. Let him go, please. Please don't. Please don't. Oh, please!
Hold it, you Zach. I said hold it!
Thank fortune you have come, Sheriff.
Shut up! You stay out of this.
I'll stay out of nothing, Cusack. Now, you let that man... You did that?
Who do you think did it?
It's not as it seems, Sheriff. They came here, this one and the other one. They told us we must leave, and when we refused, the other one took Ling and began to beat her. And I couldn't stand it. My fingers found the axe, and I just couldn't stand it.
It was done for me. Sheriff, for me.
Don't cry, Ling. Afterwards, the others came, and with a rope.
He's lying. That murdering devil killed Pete in cold blood.
It was for me. See how they beat me?
Let him down.
He killed Pete. We're gonna string him up.
No. I'm holding him for the U.S. Marshal, Cusack. He's going to Stockton for trial. Now, for the last time, let him down.
Drop it.
All right, clear out.
We're gonna come and get him back. He ain't gonna leave town alive.
He is if I have anything to do with it. You know, you may change my mind about you. Everything all right, Jed?
So far. Telegram get through all right?
Yeah. Marshal and his deputies will be here in a couple hours.
That's good.
You got back quick, Pa. Did you get an answer from the marshal?
I'm dog tired, Daniel. How about some coffee?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask a favor of you, Jared.
A favor? Anything I can do?
What's about Daniel? It's something I've worried about for a long time. Something I know his mother would have worried about if she was still alive.
I don't imagine it's been easy trying to raise a boy alone.
No, it hasn't. This town doesn't help either. You've seen what it's like, Jared, full of drifters, drunks, not even a school. There's no place for a boy to grow up.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. A lot of good men have come out of towns just like this one.
Yeah, but most of them had two parents. Daniel's only got one. I can't even give him security. Sheriff lives from day to day, you know that.
You know, it's a funny thing. Most of the kids I've seen don't seem to give a hoot about security, just as long as they have love.
He's got that. All I can give. But if I should happen to get killed all of a sudden, he won't have that. He won't have anything. There's a boarding school in Stockton. He can get an education. Be able to take care of himself no matter what happens.
I know it very well. The Stockton Boys' School.
Yeah. Well, I've written to him, taken care of all the details. They say that Daniel can enter any time. Jared, your stage leaves in an hour. I've saved the tuition. I'd appreciate it if you'd take him to Stockton with you and enter him.
You told him about this?
No, not yet.
It's a little sudden, isn't it? From what I've seen, it's going to tear his insides out.
What do you think it's doing to me? If I don't send him quick, I'll lose my nerve.
Look, Dave, why don't you think it over a little longer? This town's growing every day. There's bound to be a good school here soon.
I've thought about all that, Jared. It doesn't change anything. I'm still a sheriff, a man with a gun in his belly all the time. If that gun goes off, I don't want my son to see it.
All right. I'll take him. But not on the next stage. I'm going to stay till that marshal gets here.
But I don't want you to stay. If those miners start trouble...
If they do, you're going to need an extra gun. And badly.
All right. I better go talk to Daniel. Coffee ready, Daniel?
Just about. And I heated some stew. Where's Mr. Barkley?
He's keeping watch.
Should I take him some stew?
Sit down a minute, Daniel. I want to talk to you about something. Yeah. You remember how it was 3 years ago when we lived up in the hills at our mine?
You mean the cabin? Before the claim jumper shot Ma?
Mm-hmm.
Of course I do. I remember everything. How she used to say poetry to me, fix my clothes, and how pretty she was.
Yeah, she loved you very much, Daniel. She always wanted the very best for you. That's why we moved into town right after she died. I thought you wouldn't be so lonesome, that I could take better care of you.
You do. You take real good care of me.
Oh, this job keeps me too busy. You have to cook and clean up. You have to wash your own clothes a lot of the time.
I don't mind. I always said it was good to know how to do things.
Yeah, well, she meant more than just those things, Daniel. She meant an education. She'd want you to be in school right now. I know she would.
Well, then maybe we ought to move someplace where there is one.
Sheriff jobs aren't that easy to come by. I don't know anything else. I talked to Jared about it.
Mr. Barkley?
That's right, Mr. Barkley.
What did you talk to him about?
You're going to Stockton with him, Daniel. You're going to live at that school I was telling you about the other day.
You're fooling. Ain't you, Pa?
No. No, I'm not, Daniel.
But I don't want to live there. I want to live here with you.
No good here. Living next to a jail. Never knowing what's going to happen next.
I don't care what happens as long as I'm with you.
Well, I do care. You're going to get an education, Daniel. You're going to make a life for yourself away from here. Oh, Daniel, you'll like it. There'll be a lot of boys. You'll make friends.
No, I won't.
I'm sorry, boy. You're leaving as soon as the marshal gets here. Now, go get ready.
There's lots of time. I'll do it later. After I get rid of all my frogs.
You'll do it now. Right now.
Yes, sir.
It's for the best, boy. You'll see. Go on now.
They're coming, Dave.
Come on! You stay here, Daniel. Cover me from the side.
Don't let them take me, please, Mr. Barkley.
Don't worry, Wonglow. They won't.
You can't have him. You stay back or somebody's gonna get hurt.
Get out of the way, you're gonna be hurt.
I'm warning you, Cusack, and all the rest of you. Stay back or I'll shoot.
You can't shoot us all, Sheriff.
I don't want to shoot anybody, Mr. Glover, but you can't have Wonglow.
That scavenger has done enough damage. He's killed one of my men. A merger that would have benefited the whole town. We're going to see that he pays.
And I'm going to see he gets a fair trial.
He's already had a trial. Been found guilty, right, boys? I'm warning you, Sheriff, for the last time. Stand aside.
Not a chance.
I'll kill the next man that moves.
Pa! Oh, Pa! Pa!
Well, Sidney, you came here to destroy law and order, and I'd say you've done a pretty good job.
Is he hurt bad?
You're pretty lucky this time. It's only a flesh wound.
What you had to do it for? What for? We should help him like he's always done. Like he's done for a lot of you. Because Wonglow was in trouble. He's always helped everybody when they was in trouble. Everybody. Ever since he came in this town. Remember when the mine beams fell on you, Cusack? And how Pa stayed by you till the doctor came? Fed you whiskey so it wouldn't hurt so bad. And how about the night you was gone to Stockton, Mr. Corcoran? And how Pa fetched your wife, just in time for a baby to come. He never left you alone either, Mr. Glover. Even if you are rich. You remember when your daughter was cutting that snowed-in stage? And everybody said that they couldn't get through? You said you'd get through if it killed you. So you rode out. You and Pa. And when your horse went down, Pa brought you and Miss Janice both in safe. He stood by every one of you sometime or other. Why couldn't you stand by him? Why couldn't you?
Well, gentlemen, in addition to everything else, it looks like you all have short memories.
Huh?
Stay where you are, Sidney.
He needs help.
You can help best by getting this rabble out of here.
All right, men. Back to your jobs and stay there. Go on. Sheriff, I've been a hard-headed businessman all my life, but I always pay my debts. Jared's right. We do have short memories.
I'm sorry about coming out, Pa. I tried not to. But I heard the shots. And I knew he was out here. Alone. I had to come out. I just had to.
I'm glad you did, son.
Do I have to go away, Pa? Really? I mean, can't I just stay? Can't I?
You better. Can't expect me to eat at that cafe all the time.
Mr. Barkley, since yesterday, Ling and I owe you much gratitude. Because of this we have talked. We will sell you and Mr. Glover the mine.
I'm happy to hear that, Wong Lo. It'll mean a great deal to the town of Rimfire.
Money will mean much to us in getting a lawyer.
Don't you worry about that. You've already got one at no cost.
Not much of a case against you anyway, Wong. Cusack admitted that you did kill Pete in self-defense.
Perhaps Ling and I will have roots after all.
Well, Dave.
Bye, Jared. Thanks for everything.
Daniel, I want you to promise to take good care of your paw.
Don't you worry. I will.
All right, I'll call you. Well, looks to me like your king's be my queen. No dealer. Put two in the middle. Same game. Oh, it's Heath. Something else. Name's Wheeler. Your deal, Wheeler.
You come from around here?
Just passing through.
I don't blame you.
How about you?
Got some business here. I'm heading up to Stockton.
Stockton, huh?
I'm heading up that way, too, as soon as this heat lets up. Has been hot. Cool. How many?
I'll play these.
Dealer takes one.
Opener checks.
Check.
10s over 8s.
Each pair. Mister, I'm used to getting my cards from the top.
You are, mister. Oh, no. Wait, hold it. I'm not gonna kill a man over $2. Here, take your money.
Me neither. Only I have a reputation for not being cheated. I wouldn't want to spoil it.
You're making a mistake, mister, a big mistake.
Well, we'll see about that. You got no taste for guns. How are you with your hands?
Turns out it's your invitation.
Or you could apologize for dealing seconds.
Oh, no. Let's go. You set me up.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
Well, now that you feel better, I'm willing to call it even.
Well, I'm not. Not by a long way.
You want to change your mind?
For the time being.
Well, what's it all about?
The Gruder there is worth $200 to the sheriff at Sonora.
What about the other?
He got in the way.
It'll take 3 days to clear this up.
And I'm in a hurry. I'll sell him to you for $150.
I don't particularly like bounties. If you want your money, you'll have to wait.
Well, I've waited this long. You still mad? Come on, I'll buy you a drink. I owe you one. Well, it's not going to cost you anything. Besides, it's still too hot to travel. Come on.
Well, I don't believe it. Have you got the deed?
Right here.
You mind telling me what took you so long? You've been gone almost 2 weeks.
Oh, that's what I call a very warm welcome. No, how was the trip? Are you tired? Did you have any trouble?
How was the trip?
Long?
Are you tired?
Dead?
Did you have any trouble?
Plenty.
Well, now that those amenities are over with, would you mind telling me what took you so long?
Well, I had to get 15 signatures on that deed, and I had to go in 15 different directions to do it. Anyhow, anything new with the ranch?
Not unless you consider a bear eating some of the stock new.
You sure it's a bear?
Yes, I'm sure.
A bear will attack a herd, will attack almost anything.
Yes, Nick, I know that. That's why I have half the ranch out looking for it. Nick, who the devil crossed out paragraph 4? I said, who crossed out paragraph 4?
Signature 3.
But I put that in there specifically.
That's the way he took it out.
You want some rest. The ranch is that way.
Which way? Howdy, Franklin.
Howdy, Mr. Barkley. Welcome home.
It's good to be back. Say, you wouldn't have any of that Lowry saddle soap in stock, would you?
Don't think so. Not much demand for it. Besides, your saddle looks fine.
Oh, I don't want it for my saddle. I want it for myself. Would you mind taking a look? Now.
Sure, Mr. Barkley.
Yeah.
I'll get the rest of the shingles in just a moment, ma'am.
Howdy, miss. My name's Nick Barkley.
Mr. Barkley?
You're new in town, aren't you?
That's right.
Nice to see you plan to stay for a while.
A while.
Here, I'll get that. Hold it. Now, I show you around a little bit, show you a little bit of the town, maybe, huh?
Oh, I already saw it when I rode in.
Let me guess now. You're here to teach school, right?
Wrong.
Dressmaker.
Only when I have to be.
All right, I give up.
Oh, it's nice to have that settled.
Oh, well,
Sorry, Nick. No Lowry saddle soap.
Oh.
This is our last bundle of shingles. This will get you started. Have more tomorrow, the next day.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, you didn't tell me your name.
No, I didn't, did I?
Me too, Nick.
Who is she?
Open an account under the name of Lael Johnson. She's staying at the old Miller place.
Old Miller place, huh? Buy or sell?
I forgot to ask her.
Somebody should.
Well, how did he get away this time?
Darn if I know.
Oh, did you mention offering a bounty?
I pledged us for $100. Parker and Hayes said they'd match it.
No, $300 ought to get some results.
Maybe with an ordinary bear, but not with this one. Say, when did these puppies get weaned?
Oh, they've been on feed for 3 days now. Jared's going to start passing them out tomorrow.
Well, don't forget, I promised that one to Mike Cassidy, the bartender.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Nick, how was your trip?
Great, just great.
You must be very tired.
Oh, no, not a bit. It was downhill all the way.
You don't look like a man's been in the saddle 2 weeks.
I'm just getting my second win.
Well, good. Maybe you can go out hunting with us in the morning. We got a bear killing our livestock.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We got a bear killing our livestock.
Oh, well, bears will be bears, you know. I'll see you later.
Where are you going?
Oh, something came up while I was in town. I thought maybe I should get it settled.
Tell me something, Heath.
Hmm?
Is my imagination playing tricks? Or did your brother Nick come in here after being away for a few weeks, pick up some shingles, and then leave without really saying hello or goodbye?
You know, I was going to ask you the same thing.
Oh.
Hello again, Miss Johnson.
Mr. Barkley?
Say, I wonder if you could help me out.
If I can.
Help me get rid of these shingles here.
That's very considerate of you, but I am...
You are in need of shingle. And I just so happen to have these 2 bundles hanging around the barn. And, well, I started getting kind of concerned about the horses. Afraid they might step on them and hurt themselves.
I have enough for now and more on order.
Oh, it looks like rain. And you want to know something? There is nothing more useless than a shingle without a roof under it, expecting rain.
There's not a cloud in the sky. And I'm not in the habit of being in debt to anyone.
Oh, no, you'll be doing me a favor. You know, I spent 6 months looking for a place for those shingles.
Hmm. Well, you can store them here for the time being, but when my order comes in, I'm going to replace them.
Oh, no, come on, I'll do that. Here, come on.
Thank you. I'm used to doing for myself.
Well, now, I'm very glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you live alone.
Oh!
Oh, that must have hurt. Ah, something you got to learn. When you're hammering, you got to keep your eyes on that nail. Here, show you what I mean. Now, you set the shingle in here like this, see? Right up there, snug. And you grab your nail, take your hammer, like this. Oh, oh! Oh, that hurt. Oh, I'm very good at giving advice. I'm not very good at taking it. Ah.
Let me see.
Oh, you think it'll live?
You didn't hit your hand at all.
You want me to?
No! Are you always like this?
No, I'm usually very shy.
I'm sure.
Say, did you ever meet anyone that made you feel like you were kicked in the stomach and you kept talking, trying to hide it?
Yes.
And it happened right from the first look?
Yes. A long time ago. Look. There's something I have to tell you.
No, wait a minute. If you're going to talk to me about your past, I don't want to hear anything about it. Now, nobody lives in a crate waiting for that special someone to come by with a crowbar, open it up, and let him out. Only statues do that. Statues are just about as cold as gun butts.
I'll make some coffee.
Well, wait a minute. Why don't you go make some coffee?
Yeah, I think I will.
Here, easy now. That's it.
The stove!
What?
The stove! They're ruined.
Oh, it's not much damage, just a little smoke.
I just put them up yesterday.
Sister Audra, before she went to New York, bought this whole bunch of curtain material, and she only used half of it.
It's just getting in the way.
That's right.
Must be wonderful to have so many things to get in the way. Why do I always have to have holes in the roof and broken window panes and loose floorboards? Why does everything always need painting? Every time I try to make something nice, it goes wrong.
Oh, easy now, easy. Can't be that bad. Nothing's that bad.
I'm all right now, thank you, Mr. Barkley.
Well, now, if you're going to go on calling me Mr. Barkley, do you mind if I call you Lael? Like, Lael, can I help you paint your barn?
The barn doesn't need painting.
Now, the almanac says it's going to be a very rough winter.
Is that so? Nick.
Ah, see? How much better that is? Now that we're on a first-name basis. Tomorrow night, I want to pick you up and take you out to dinner. 8 o'clock.
I can't.
Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock sharp.
Nick?
These the one you mean, Mr. Nick?
Those are the ones.
And the real good silver?
The best we've got. And don't forget, I want that champagne chilled. Huh?
You better hurry. They're waiting for you.
Good morning, Mother. Have a little coffee?
Well, you're pretty chipper for a man going on a bear hunt.
Bear has nothing to do with it.
Ah, the girl.
The girl.
The girl?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure, you've known her for such a long time.
Now, Mother, remember that Arab filly we paid $2,000 for?
Mm-hmm.
Well, 10 minutes before you wrote that check, we had never laid eyes on her.
Hey, Nick, come on, we're moving out.
Turned out to be the best buy we ever made. Right?
That makes 17.
This one looks like he just got it, too.
Looks like he went into that cave. All right, the rest of you men set up a crossfire in case he gets past us. Bring some torches. Right away. My rifle.
Right. Let me have your piece there, will you, Gene? Thank you. If I'd have known he'd leave himself a back door. Uh-huh.
Okay, ante up, boys. Jacks are better. Nick, you want to sit in a hand?
No, I feel like I've been on the saddle for 2 weeks. I'm gonna turn in. Good luck.
Thank you. Dealer opens for 4 bits.
Good evening, ma'am. 8 o'clock sharp. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I'm late. I'm sorry.
You're not late.
I am. 2 minutes. Look at that. You ready to go?
Yes.
All right, let's go. Go on.
No,
What's the matter?
I thought I'd make dinner for us here.
Oh, no, not the way you're dressed so pretty. We're gonna go out.
Nick, I don't feel like going all the way into town.
Well, who said anything about going into town? The place I picked is nice and quiet and private.
No,
I think maybe you just might need this, too. Do you mind if we use your buckboard? Huh?
Well, all right.
The carriage awaits.
Oh, Nick.
Surprised?
Surprise. I can hardly believe it. Champagne?
Uh-huh. And a vintage year. Let's toast my lucky star.
Which one is it?
Well, Anyway, it's one of them, whichever one is working overtime. Let's toast them all.
Where are we going?
I have something that belongs to you.
Oh, it's beautiful. You must come here often.
Oh, yes, whenever the sky gets a little too old, a little low, mountains start crowding in. Ground comes up to meet me. Well, it's my special sort of place.
To bring dinner guests?
Oh, no. You're the only one that's ever been here. I found this place when I was a boy. When I was only 6 years old, I used to come here and play.
Cowboys and Indians?
Well, now, when I was 6 years old, there were lots of cowboys and Indians. I used to be Sir Lancelot. I used the top of a keg of nails for a shield and a sunflower stalk as a sword. That old oak there, he was the Black Knight. I used to challenge him, and I must have killed him 1,000 times. It's a wonder to me how healthy he stayed all these years. I saved this place just for you.
We only met yesterday.
Just didn't know your name until yesterday. I've been waiting for you a long time.
It was absolutely delicious.
I hoped you'd like it.
My compliments to the chef.
Well, now, you may deliver those personally.
What?
I'd like you to come to my home.
Oh, I'm afraid I
No,
won't.
no. Well, there's no sense saying no. I want you to meet my family.
Nick. There's something I must tell you.
And there's something I must tell you. It's about my brothers. I have to be very careful. Old Heath, for one, he'll kick the carpet a couple of times, and then he'll slowly herd you into the pantry where he's very dangerous. And then Jared will find you in the pantry and start talking to you about your mind. Till he gets you in the drawing room, and Barry's very lethal.
Nick, take me home, please.
What's the matter?
Oh, it's late, and you have to get back to camp.
Don't worry.
Manage it.
Morning, Nick. You sleep good?
Lord, some people... It's daylight.
Well, boy, howdy, it sure is.
Oh, what's everyone standing around for? We got a mountain lion to catch.
A bear?
Now, listen, I just overslept a little bit.
You mean underslept? I heard you fall over a rock when you came in.
Where's my saddle?
On your horse.
Mother! Mother? Want a drink, Heath? No, I'll settle for a hot bath.
From your expression, I gather you had no more luck today than yesterday.
How was the party, Mr. Nick?
It was great. And she said to give her compliments to the chef.
She said that?
That's right. It's just the way she said it. As plain as day. Give my compliments to the chef.
What do you know about that? What do you know about that?
What was that all about?
Well, last night, Silas set up a little picnic for me and a friend.
In the middle of a bear hunt?
Well, I never did need much sleep, you know.
Now, don't tell me. Let me guess who she is. The gal with the beautiful eyes and no shingles.
Well, wait till you meet her.
Oh, I'm looking forward
Well, you
to
just
it.
best be sitting down when it happens. Don't say I didn't warn you. This is the one. This is the girl. Not kidding. Oh, that reminds me. I have a chore I have to take care of.
Will you be home for dinner?
Probably. And I just frankly home a house guest. Evening, Lale.
Nick.
No, you shouldn't be out after dark with the bear roaming about.
Oh, I had to go into town. I picked up the shingles I owe you.
No, that's not important. Bears have been known to attack human beings, you know.
Yes, I know.
That's why I thought maybe you might need a little protection.
Oh.
His name is Sir Lancelot. His father was a wolf. His mother was the best hunting dog in all of San Joaquin. He may tend to be a little vicious, but I'm sure he'll take to you as quick as I did.
Oh, Nick. Oh, you darling. Oh, I feel more secure already.
Now you don't have to be alone anymore.
No. Sir Lancelot's going to be great company.
We're both going to keep you company tonight. I want you to meet my family.
Nick, I can't.
Why not?
Well, I have so many things to do. The stove, I
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Tomorrow night I'm having company.
Company?
Yeah. Nick Barkley's coming to dinner.
Oh, him. Well, now. You better keep your eye on him.
Yes, I will. Oh, Nick, Sir Lancelot.
Tomorrow night, we're going to blindfold Sir Lancelot.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Hello, Leah.
Kind of a lonesome homecoming, honey. Where were you?
I wasn't expecting you. I had to go into town.
Who's your friend?
My friend?
A dog.
Oh, Sir Lancelot.
Sir Lancelot, huh? Hello, Sir Lancelot. I like that. Leo. I guess I can't rightly blame you.
6 months ago, a wire, meet me in Denver. Denver, I got a wire, meet me in San Diego. In San Diego, I got a wire, meet me in Stockton. What were you expecting, a red carpet?
I know, but you gotta give me a chance. Look, here. What I brought you back. Huh? You like that? That costs $3. Now, don't go away, folks. There's more to come. You like it? You will be the belle of any man's ball. The trouble is, it needs some ornamentation, like that brooch that I... What's this doing in here?
Well, why shouldn't it be among the souvenirs? In the 7 years we've been married, I've only had the right to wear it for 7 months.
Put it on.
Wheeler, how many men did you have to kill for all these presents?
Not as many as I had to kill for these medals.
Why couldn't you stop when everybody else did?
Because I don't know how to do anything else better. Leo, I'm home.
How long are you home this time?
Good?
I've heard that before.
No, you haven't. Now, this time, I mean it, Leo. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm going to go into that town. I'm going to buy the biggest rocking chair that I can find, and I'm just going to sit out on that front porch and watch the corn grow.
That's not the way corn grows.
Leo, I mean it. You keep it.
Why? Hiding a gun won't stop you from killing.
Where are you all meeting today?
We're gonna meet in town, then head out to Willow Draw. Old Thompson put some honeycomb out there yesterday's bait. I'll be down at the corral, Nick, whenever you're ready. Right.
I was sorry Miss Johnson couldn't come to dinner last night.
Not any more than I was. Well, I guess, he was just a little shy, is all.
Well, perhaps if I invited her personally.
Would you?
Here, Dan. Give me the pot.
Hello there.
Good morning. I'm trying to get Sir Lancelot here to give me his paw. He sure isn't interested in learning any tricks.
So it seems.
I can't understand why. He looks so intelligent.
Well, looks can be deceiving. Even in college puppies.
I'm sure you're right. I'm
Lale Johnson.
And you're Victoria Barkley.
Nick has told me many things about you, but he never mentioned the fact that you've been married.
That's because he doesn't know.
Don't you think he should know? I'm sure the fact that you're a widow wouldn't make any difference.
I'm not a widow. Please come inside. I'd like you to meet my husband. Here, Mrs. Barkley. Citations for bravery, for courage, for killing. This is my husband. See, when I met him, he was a bank teller. He was as kind and gentle as that puppy there. And then the war came. He went in as a private, and he came out a colonel. That's where he found himself. That's where he stayed.
He's still in the army.
He's just still at war. He's a professional killer.
Well, that puts Nick in a very interesting position, doesn't it?
I didn't set out to fall in love with Nick. The first time I met him, there was no reason to tell him I was married. And the second time, he wouldn't let me. The third time, I didn't want to.
I came out here because Nick asked me to invite you to our home for dinner.
I planned to tell Nick the truth.
When?
Right away. My husband came home last night. He's gone into town now. What's wrong?
Nick's on his way to town.
Well, that's all right, Mrs. Barkley. They don't know each other.
Nick Barkley. See you over the sewer, Heath.
Wheeler, I don't want to appear to be unfriendly. But we do have a sheriff here. He does a very good job, so we have no want or need for a bounty hunter.
Do I look like I'm hunting down bounty money?
At the moment, no.
You can take my word for it, I'm not. I made a promise to my wife. I've given up that game. Tell me something, Nick. Would you say I look better in this one or in this one? You don't believe me, do you?
Last time I took your word, I was sorry.
Just like my wife. She doesn't believe me either. Hey, merchant. How much is this thing?
$2.
$2?
Two.
All right. I guess that's cheap enough to prove a point.
Do you have a buckboard?
I don't need a buckboard.
Oh.
Now, take it easy, horse. Well, how would you do it?
Well, put it on the back of the horse like he's going to sit on it. Yeah, like he's going to sit on it.
It works. You know, I think I'll just have to buy you a drink.
And I just might drink it. Oh, it'll work as long as he doesn't decide to sit down.
I'll take my chances.
You're really serious about all this, aren't you?
100%, why not? The rocks I sleep on seem to be getting harder. Rain keeps getting colder.
Well, settling down seems to make a lot of sense. Been doing a lot of thinking about that lately. Hey, what is all this after that talk about the rocks and the rain?
No, not this one. This one. I've never seen one like that before. $300 bounty on a bear? That's kind of unusual.
Well, that old bear's been killing livestock up and down this valley. Say, you know, you're talking about settling down. You might just could use that money. But, you know that killing a man is not different than killing a bear. I mean, the bear don't shoot back.
That's the problem. No challenge.
You know, I'd say you're going to find that chair very uncomfortable compared to that saddle. The drink? Are you going to buy me a drink?
Oh.
Yeah, thanks.
I hear they found a longhorn out in the south pasture.
Makes 18.
Jared, I thought you were still in court.
Well, they let us out for recess once in a while, so I thought I'd come by to wish you good luck.
Oh, Wheeler, it's my brother Jared and Heath.
All right.
Hello there.
You join the bear hunt?
Oh, he gave up bounty hunting.
Hey, Heath, when do I get the dog you promised me?
Jared, I thought you brought it in this morning.
I thought you did. Wasn't in the barn this morning.
Are you fellas by any chance talking about Sir Lancelot?
Sir, what?
Sir Lancelot. The name I gave to one of Queenie's pups.
Heath promised it to me.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, Cass. I didn't know. I gave it to a girl I know. Keep her company when I'm not around.
Nick, that girl wouldn't happen to be the one you met in front of the general store the other day, would it?
Or the one you went bear hunting with the other night?
Right on both cases. But be careful what you say. This one's different from the others.
What kind of dog was it?
Just a collie pup.
This one's different, huh, Nick?
Wait till you see her. When you do, look, don't touch. It's my personal property.
No doubt you've got reasons to believe the young lady shares that sentiment.
Yes. I have reasons. Well, now, this is no way to catch a bear, is it? Let's go out and see how those honeycomb traps are doing.
Let's move out. The bear looks like a community project.
It is.
Well, since I aim to become a part of the community, maybe I ought to just ride along after all.
Well, now, I told you, we're there. You're more than welcome.
I have to ride back and get my rifle.
No, there's not time. Cassidy, do me a favor, will you? Lend this man your rifle. Sure. There you go.
Thanks, Nick. You know, since bounty's my game, you nail that bear, I'm going to feel like you just took something away from me.
Uh-huh.
And I don't like to have things taken away from me.
Watch the trap there. Don't look to me like you tried for the bait. Sure been nosing around. Left tracks going in 6 different directions. The bees fell our trap.
Maybe we should pair off and spread out.
Good idea.
All right if I ride with you, Nick?
So long as you don't decide to use me as a shield again.
You have my word.
All right, let's go.
Come on. All right, Charlie, you and Bill, let's go.
Tracks here look pretty fresh.
You want to move off right? I'll cover from the left flanking position.
Sounds to me like he's on the other side of that ridge. He must have spot. What are you trying to do, Wheeler? Collect the whole bounty on that bear?
No! I'm trying for the bounty on you, Barkley.
You're out of your mind. There's no bounty on me.
Lael Johnson!
Lael?
My wife!
I didn't know.
You knew she was married. She must have told you that.
Well, I realize now she tried to tell me, but I wouldn't let her.
We killed a bear, Nick. What are you shooting at?
Had a little accident here is all. You go on, we'll catch up with you.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Let's go.
Why'd you let me off? Because I figure Lael deserves a choice. Now, we're gonna go see her. If she tells me to ride out, you're never gonna see me again. If she tells you to ride out, I better not ever see you again, or I'll finish what you started here.
Leftovers. I guess that's all you've ever gotten from me. The time I had left over after I'd gotten through doing the things I had to do.
Or wanted to do.
Or wanted to do. Look, Leo, sometimes a man starts running a race so fast that he pulls a hamstring muscle. And then he knows if he slows up, he'll fall down. I've always been afraid of falling.
Did it ever occur to you that I might be afraid, too? Afraid of loneliness, afraid of a dark night in a strange place. Afraid of the chance that you might never come back.
I've always made it because I've had you to come back to. You were always there when I needed you.
But where were you when I needed you?
From now on, I'll be close enough so you just call my name.
You told me the same thing last night. Where were you today?
That was different.
It's always different. A week, 2 weeks, pick up those guns. How do I know?
Because I'm giving you my word on it. And the one thing I have never done is lie to you. I realize Nick Barkley has things that a woman wants. Roots, an important family, money. But you are my wife, and I want you to stay that way. Because I love you, Leo. It's the same, I won't force it. It's up to you.
Still in love with him, aren't you? Goodbye, Lil.
Goodbye, Nick.
Heath! Come here, Heath! Jim? Come on, sit down. Have one with me. Hey, a glass for Mr. Barkley.
What are you doing all dressed up like a San Francisco banker? Hey, I bet today's a big day, huh?
It's the day, all right. You know, Nancy Staves doesn't come into Stockton, so I have to pick her up in the Stego at 3 o'clock.
You're not nervous, are you?
Nervous? What have I got to be nervous about?
Not a thing?
Darn right. You know, Heath, I must have written Nancy Briggs 100 letters over the past 2 years, and it's just like courting her in person.
You bet.
She's a genteel Eastern woman, but that don't make no difference. She and me are gonna get along just fine.
You don't need any more of that. You're gonna meet that 3 o'clock stage. What do you say I do the honors?
Well, that's mighty kind of you, Heath.
Hey, easy, Jim.
Ooh.
I think Nancy will like these.
Well, we'll soon find out. Hey, easy, Jim.
I'm just fine. I'm just fine.
You sure you can drive that buggy all right?
Yes, I can drive that buggy. Don't worry.
Ah, Jim! Hey, you hurt, Jim?
Hurts my back again.
Well, don't you move. I better get the doc.
No. Oh, Nancy, she's expecting me.
Well, you can't drive that buggy like that.
She's waiting for me. Who's going to pick her up, Heath?
Inside, mister. What happened?
The outlaws were held up.
It was awful, just awful. They shot the driver and that poor girl.
She caught a stray bullet. Miss Briggs here and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
How long ago did they leave?
Oh, about a half an hour. We thought it'd be safer to stay here by the stage.
Oh, you were right. We'll see the sheriff when we get into Stockton.
Do you think we could put the suitcases in your surrey there?
Sure.
Thank you.
Well, I'm supposed to meet someone at Pistico.
Well, I'm Heath Barkley, Miss Briggs, Jim North's friend.
Oh, hello.
I'm afraid I have some disappointing news.
I hope he didn't change his mind.
No, that's just a little trouble with his back. Nothing serious.
Oh, I'm glad. It's nothing to worry about.
In fact, Jim sent these to you.
Oh, they're lovely.
The sooner we get started, the sooner you can tell Jim in person.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barkley. I'll be staying in town for a while. I'd like to buy you a drink sometime if I may.
It'll be my pleasure.
Goodbye, Miss Briggs.
Oh, goodbye, Mr. Clayton. And I want to thank you for all the kindness you've shown.
Don't mention it. Oh, and I'd like to wish you the greatest happiness in your forthcoming marriage.
Thank you. I must confess, Mr. Barkley, I'm a little bit nervous.
Well, there's nothing to be nervous about.
Well, I keep thinking that Jim won't like me.
Oh, Jim will like you. Miss Briggs, have you ever been in Denver?
Denver, no.
Carson City?
No, Mr. Barkley, why?
Oh, you just look familiar to me.
Well, I don't see how that could be. I've never been west of St. Louis. I mean, school teachers see they can't afford to travel very much. Miss Barkley, you're a good friend of Jim's, aren't you?
Well, I've known him a long time.
Well, tell me about him.
Well, I wouldn't know where to begin.
What's his favorite kind of food?
Well, I hope you're good with chili peppers.
Chili peppers?
He acquired quite a taste for them in Mexico last year.
Oh.
Oh, didn't he write you about that?
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, I guess he wouldn't.
Why? What happened?
Well, there was a flood in some small Mexican border town. He and Maria went down to see what he could do. Stayed about 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. And he's quite a man, and his wife must have been quite a woman to stay down there with him.
Maria's his housekeeper. His wife, Rachel, died 8 years ago.
Oh, of course, his housekeeper. How can I forget? He's mentioned her so often in his letters. How much further do we have to go?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, how much more tired than I thought. Mind if I rest a bit?
It's going to be fine. Yes. Here they come. Maria, here, hide this. Quick. No, Maria, how do I look?
Oh, you look handsome, Senor Jim.
Good, come, Maria. Maria, I will stand here. You open the door.
Yes.
Well, there she is, Jim, safe and sound.
Please, I take.
I'm so glad you're here. Did you have a nice trip?
Oh, yes, it was fun.
Wonderful. I'm glad you had a nice trip.
I better be going, Jim.
Oh, no, Heath. No, stay. Have some coffee or something. Come in, come in. You must be tired, Nancy. The coffee will pick you up. And we'll have something to eat. Come on, sit down. Right here. Sit down. Nancy, you and me, we got a lot to talk about.
I suppose we do.
Now you can understand why I didn't ask for your picture. It means I'd have to send you one of mine. Well, I didn't want you to see what I looked like, my age and all.
Jim, you don't have to.
Well, now you've seen me. You can turn around and walk out right now, Nancy. I wouldn't blame you one bit, not one bit. Just ask Heath and he'll take you back to town.
I want to stay.
You're sure, Nancy?
I'm sure.
I promise you, you're going to be happy here. I'm going to make you happy. I'll love you. Everybody will.
Jim, I'm happy already, and I'll make you a good wife. The best I know how. Excuse me, dinner will be ready in a few minutes.
Now, Nancy, I don't want you spending all that time in the kitchen from now on. Wait till you see the dinner she's prepared for us. She thought of everything. As a matter of fact, she put in just the right amount of chili pepper.
With a little help from Maria.
Jim is fortunate to have found you, Nancy. And we're all very glad he did.
Thank you, Mrs. Barkley.
Tell me, what can I do to help you with your wedding?
As a matter of fact, Victoria, I was going to talk to you about that. Nancy would like to go into town to buy a few things.
Well, I'd love to take her. I know just the seamstress to make your wedding dress. Heath can drive us in, and I'm sure there'll be enough time for me to show you our school.
Your school?
I hope you like it. We can use a good elementary grade teacher. The children are lovely, and with your experience, there'll be no problem at all.
Oh, Mrs. Barkley, I don't intend to teach school.
Nancy, in your letters, I thought you said you'd like to maybe teach school.
Oh, well, Jim, I've changed my mind. I don't want to teach school. Oh, I mean, you understand, don't you? I have a more important job here, learning to be a rancher's wife. I want to devote all my time to that.
Of course, Nancy, I understand. I'm sure you do too, Victoria.
Of course. We'll find somebody else.
Dinner is served.
Oh, Jim, would you mind too much if I escorted the next Mrs. North to dinner? Not at all. Victoria?
We'll be a couple of hours picking out laces and materials. Heath, would you like to help us make a few decisions?
Yeah, well, I think I just made one. I'll be back in 2 hours.
Barkley. Would you care to take a hand?
Well, why not?
Quite a town you've got here, Stockton. Much bigger than I thought.
Growing every day?
Place for expansion. Might be a likely spot for investments.
You're in investments?
Yes, with my father. You may have heard of him. Everett Clayton.
Owns half of San Francisco.
Can we play poker? I want one card.
Mr. Barkley?
3.
The dealer will try his luck with these. And bet $5.
I'll raise you 5.
It's Mr. Barkley's bet.
I'm out.
I said I'll raise you 5.
I'll just call you.
Pull the flush.
Not good enough. Have a full house, all royal.
You didn't have to draw any. I'd say you're a pretty slick dealer.
Take it easy, mister.
Can you get your hand up?
Throw your dog off right now.
Come on, Charlie.
I think I've had enough poker for today, Mr. Barkley. It's a very bad habit of mine, playing poker with strangers. I must get over it. May I buy you that drink now?
Whiskey.
Bartender. Whiskeys, please. How is Miss Briggs?
Just fine. She'll be getting married pretty soon.
Well, that's splendid, splendid.
Too bad about that other girl on the stage. What was her name?
Miss Morrison. Sheila Morrison. It's a terrible shame about her.
Was she from out here or just visiting?
Well, I really don't know. She never said much of anything.
Well, you're lucky. Usually a man rides with a woman more than an hour. He gets her life history.
Yes, of course. Would you like a cigar, Mr. Barkley?
No, thanks.
Well, that's unfortunate. Very good, you know.
Jack's Saloon, Copper Creek.
Oh, yes, you've been there, huh?
A couple of years back.
Well, it's a terrible mud hole. I personally am very glad to be out of there.
Well, I must be going. Thanks for the drink, Mr. Clayton. See you around.
I'll look forward to it.
This is the suitcase, Heath. Nobody's called for it, and we ain't found no kin to notify.
Anything in it might help identify her.
Just clothes. Like these. Some sort of dance hall girl, wouldn't you say?
Thanks, Phil.
It's nice of you to ferry me back and forth like this, Heath. Just trying to thank you, that's all. Your mother, she's a wonderful person, you know? I've never met anyone like her. In fact, everyone's been very kind to me. Jim's friends. Everyone. Except you, Heath. You don't like me, do you?
I have no reason not to like you. Do I?
No, you have no reason at all.
I've been waiting for you. Here, Nancy, let me take those. What did you do? Come on in, Heath. You buy the whole store? Well, what's in this one? Oh, let me warn you, Nancy, before I open it up, I'm not one for fancy hats.
I hope it's not too fancy.
No. Oh, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Put it on.
She's gonna make a fine wife, ain't she, Heath?
She sure is. Well, I better be getting on, Jim.
You gonna stay for supper?
Well, I'd like to, but it's Brandon time, and you know how that is.
Well, you have to eat. You might as well eat with us. Ain't that right, Nancy?
Yes, please stay, Heath.
I'd like to, but if I don't get back, Nick's liable to fire me.
Oh, listen, if Nick fires you, you come to work for me at twice the pay.
Thanks, Jim. Goodbye, Nancy.
Goodbye, Heath.
Goodbye, Heath. Well, guess we'll get some of this merchandise upstairs. Nancy? What's wrong, Nancy?
Heath doesn't like me.
Doesn't like you? That's the craziest thing I ever heard.
Well, that's true.
But he's a friend. He's a good friend. What reason would he have? Anybody can see how beautiful you are and how happy you're making me. Any man would be a fool not liking you, loving you. Maybe he likes you too much. He likes you too much, and he's afraid to admit it. You know, young fellas are like that sometimes.
No, Jim, it's nothing like that.
You're the prettiest girl ever to come to Stockton. Prettiest girl most likely ever to show up here. That's it, all right. If I'd known you were half as beautiful as you are, I'd have sent Shorty, my foreman, to pick you up. He's about as tall as he is wide and handsome as a mud fence.
Jim, I want you to promise me to never be jealous of Heath, of Shorty, anyone. Promise me that.
I promise.
You're what I want, Jim. Just what I want.
Nancy.
But, Jared, you're going to San Francisco anyway. Now, couldn't you at least stop by Black & Foster's and see if you can find something?
Yes, I will be in San Francisco. Yes, I could stop by Black & Foster's. However, as much as I like Jim and his bride-to-be and wish them every happiness...
Well, it's not a question of their happiness. It's a question of a wedding gift.
Ah, that's important, true. But so is this extremely complicated case I'm trying.
Well, I suppose I could find something here in Stockton.
As a matter of fact, I saw 2 beautiful silver candelabras in Hammond's.
Candelabras?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you think about that, Heath?
Oh, fine.
Heath, you know we got a whole army of our cattle out there waiting to be branded.
I'm leaving town for a few days, Nick.
After Friday.
Can't wait till then.
Well, I can't spare you. I need to finish that branding.
I'll hire some extra men.
We've hired all the extra men we can. What I need is a man out there to take charge and give orders, like he owned as much of this ranch as I do.
Well, gentlemen, lovely lady, I bid you good morning. And please, do not fail to let me know how all this comes out.
What do you have to do that's so all-fired important?
Never mind. It'll wait till Friday.
Well, after Friday, you can take off for a week. If you like, you can go to China for all I care.
Heath, something is wrong, isn't it?
I'm not ready to talk about it just yet, Mother.
There. Can you put his feet up? What do you think?
Oh, I think it looks very nice.
Maria, when we started this about an hour ago, the lamp was right where it is. The side table right where it is. Right back where we started.
But the chair, we have moved the chair.
Yes, we moved it about 2 feet. Oh, Maria, I'm hopeless. I'll just have to face up to the fact that Jim's wife, Rachel, she knew where to put a piece of furniture and make it stick. Maria, what kind of woman was she?
Oh, she was a nice woman, a good woman.
Come sit beside me. Come on, sit down.
All right.
Tell me about her.
You love him very much, don't you?
Yes, I do. I love him.
You are good for him. Better in a way than she could ever be. There is a lightness in him, a laughter. It was never there before. Never.
Well, then, you think if I can't cook as well as she could, or sew, or move furniture, you think we'll be all right together?
Oh, you'll be much better than all right together.
Thank you, Maria.
Well, what are you two cooking up?
And Maria, talking about cooking.
I will have lunch ready in just a few minutes.
Good. Well, Nancy, what have you been up to? Well, how about that? After 25 years, I can finally put my feet up. Thank you, Nancy.
I'm looking for Mr. Jim North.
You're looking at him? Come on in. What can I do for you?
Well, the gentleman at the bank told me I should look you up, sir. I'm Reed Clayton. I understand you have some acreage for sale.
I have lots of acreage, Mr. Clayton, but I don't know where you got the idea that any of it was for sale.
Hello, Miss Briggs. Nice to see you again.
Hello, Mr. Clayton.
You two know each other?
Oh, yes, he was the gentleman that was so kind to me on the stagecoach.
Oh, Mr. Clayton, pleasure to thank you for that.
Well, don't thank me, sir. Now, if I could talk to you about that acreage, I think I should tell you I represent Clayton Industries. You've heard of us, of course.
Oh, yes, I have. Are you planning to put in an operation here?
Yes, sir, a packing plant. It would employ about 300 people. Now, I know that might not mean much to you, sir, but to the people of Stockton, it might mean a great deal.
Yes, it would. I'll tell you what, Mr. Clayton, I'll saddle up a horse and we'll go for a ride. Maybe we can talk business. Nancy, would you get Mr. Clayton a drink?
Let's stop here. Oh, Heath, what a lovely ranch. What a perfect spot for a picnic. Are there fish in that stream?
Some.
Sit down. Talk to me.
We better be getting back. It's getting late.
Yes, of course. Heath, you know Jim loves me very much, don't you? I love him. I want to make him happy. I can make him happy. You want him to be happy too, Heath. I know that. That's really why I came here today. Jim knows you don't like me. He doesn't know why any more than I do, but it's just eating him up. I love this country. Heath, what are you trying to do to me and to Jim unless you really want to hurt him?
I don't want to hurt anyone. Least of all, Jim.
Well, then remember this. If you do anything to hurt me, you hurt Jim much more.
What happened?
Reed, it's not going to work.
You told me yesterday everything was fine.
With Jim, at Heath Barkley.
You're not marrying Heath Barkley, you're marrying Jim North.
Not if Heath Barkley has his way.
What's he done?
Done? He's done nothing.
Well, then calm down.
I just can't reach him. I can't get through to him. He's not the kind you can buy off. He has a feeling there's something wrong.
All right, he has a feeling, so?
I know this kind, and I know he's not going to stop.
I told you to calm down.
I don't want to be around, Reed, when he starts shaking things up.
When he finds out. If he finds out, you'll be long married. You'll be Mrs. Jim North, the lady of the manor.
Copper Creek isn't that far away, Reed.
Don't worry about it. Everything's going beautifully, beautifully. You act as if you were made for this.
Reed, I'll slip. I'll say something. I'll do something, and Jim, he'll find out the truth.
No, he won't. Because he's so madly in love with you, he wouldn't see the truth of it. It was lit up with fire on the mountain. And that's the truth.
I just can't hurt him. He's a good man. He's a decent man.
He's an old man. He's a rich old man. He's buying more beauty and more love with his money than he deserves. And we're taking far less than we could get. Should get.
Reed, this was a mistake. It was a mistake right from the beginning.
Do you remember when you told me that I'd given you hope? That I'd shown you a way of life you didn't even know existed? You can have that way of life right now.
No, not like this.
Just like this. For you and I, that's the way it's got to be. We knew that when it started. Do you remember Copper Creek? The saloon at Copper Creek? Do you remember how I hated you in those garish clothes, showing yourself to everybody? Do you remember how you hated yourself? Can you go back to that now? So now you just think about the two of us. In a couple of months, after you leave him, I'll take you back home with me. And you can be Mrs. Reed Clayton.
Back home? I thought your father disowned you.
Well, when I can prove myself. There's no more the black sheep for me. I've got the brains to make it big in the business world. But I need a stake, and you're going to get it for me.
I don't want to hurt Jim.
Now, I want you to forget about that old man and think about me. About me. Because I can't make it anymore, drifting around from town to town, winning $1 here and there in a cheap poker game. I need your help. So I want you to go back to Jim North and forget all about Heath Barkley.
Hey, Clayton.
I didn't hear you knock, Kiefer. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming. I'm sure that everything will be just fine. Everything. I don't like your timing very much, Kiefer, but thanks for coming.
Bartender said you wanted to see me. Now, what have I got? It's worth 10 of your dollars.
Well, if we can come to an agreement, we'll call that a down payment on services rendered.
What do you got in mind?
You remember the gentleman we played poker with the other day? Mr. Heath Barkley?
Nancy?
I'm in here, Jim.
Did you have a good day?
And you?
Well, I've been spending my time with Jared.
Oh.
Well, aren't you going to ask me what we were doing? It was mighty important business.
All right. What were you doing?
Nancy, you're not really interested, are you?
Yes, I'm really interested.
Well, I made out my new will. Them lawyers, they sure know how to take something simple and make it complicated. My whole life went into building up this place. Sure, I had a few rough years, but now I got something I'm really proud of. Nancy, something I'm proud to give you.
It's too soon. We've only known each other less than a week. Now, how do you know things are going to work out?
From the moment I first saw you, I knew things were going to work out.
This ranch, everything, it's too much.
Too much? It's not enough. Nancy, I don't know how to say it, but in a way, this ranch, well, it's me. That's what I want to give you.
Jim, excuse me, I have to go upstairs.
Nancy? Nancy, can I come in?
Come in.
Nancy,
Why are you packing?
I'm leaving. Maybe we were wrong to think these things could work out by letters.
But the letters are over now. It's a time we've been together that's important, isn't it? That's when we really began to fall in love.
Jim, I'll make a mess of things. I'll make everyone unhappy. Heath, your friend.
What about him?
I saw him today, and Jim, you must let me go. It won't work.
You saw Heath today.
Oh, yes. Victoria was going to show me around the ranch, but she was gone.
Instead, Heath did. Here it is the height of branding season. He doesn't like you, yet he spends time running you around the ranch.
Jim, it's nothing like that.
I got something to straighten out.
Jim, I know where you're going, but you're wrong.
Nancy, you're in my way.
Heath had nothing to do with it.
I'm afraid he does.
Jim, please.
Heath, I want to talk to you.
Jim, I gotta catch a train.
I want to talk to you now.
When I get back?
It'll be too late. Get on off that horse.
All right, Jim, what's bothering you?
Where you going in such a hurry?
I'm afraid that's personal.
Personal and coincidental.
What are you talking about?
You and Nancy leaving town at the same time.
Nancy leaving?
You don't know anything about that, do you? Heath, when Nancy came to me, she brought me more happiness than I'd thought I'd ever know. I haven't got the words to explain to you what she means to me, but if I lose her, I'm finished. I'm a proud man, Heath. But I'm asking you to leave her be. You're a young fella. There'll be lots of girls for you.
Jim, it's nothing like that.
Don't play innocent with me. I know what you've been up to. Taking her for rides. Asking her to come up to the ranch to see you.
Look, Jim, if Nancy said anything like that, why...
Say anything? She's too much of a lady to say anything. I'm saying...
Jim, you're wrong. I'm not going to argue with you now. Not now.
You're not going to take her away from me without a fight?
Jim, I'm not going to fight with you. You're wrong in what you're thinking, Jim. One of these days you're going to see that. Your dog, mister.
I guess he just don't like your smell. Mister, you just hit my dog. Like hitting me. Now you're gonna have to draw.
I'm a witness, Heath. I saw the whole thing. The man was drawn on you. I'll testify to that.
Thanks, Herb.
You know who he was?
No idea.
Well, you're in the clear.
I better get the sheriff.
Yes, sir.
I'd like a ticket to Copper Creek, please.
Copper Creek.
Just about closing, mister. You're gonna have to drink it fast.
Don't want to drink, just some information.
What kind of information?
Now, come on, give me a little kiss, honey.
Oh, I don't want to be.
You like that, don't you? Sure you do.
Excuse me, mister.
Good. Well, go home with the powder, huh?
Come on, cowboy. The lady's had enough of your
What do you
attention.
mean? I just
Let's
wanted
go.
to be
We're
citizen.
closing. Let's
What
go
is-
home now. The lady don't care for your company anymore.
Well, you found what you were looking for, Heath. Might as well sit down and have a drink.
Now, what was that question, mister?
Never mind. Last drink I had in this saloon was, 3 years ago.
3 years? Whew, that's a lot of drinks ago.
That girl on the stage, you changed places with her, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew sooner or later you'd find out.
Is that why you left?
One thing Reed taught me is when to throw in a bad hand. Oh, is it Jim you're worried about? Well, let me tell you something. How would he feel after 2 months if his wife told me that she didn't love him anymore and she leaves? Naturally, a nice financial settlement would be in order.
You know, you had me fooled a couple of times.
Did I?
At the stream that day, the way you talked.
Hmm?
I thought maybe for a minute there I was wrong. Maybe you really did love Jim.
Not a chance. I'm sorry if I made him think different.
But that's the way it goes, huh?
That's the way it goes. I know he had a different kind of picture of me, but I want you to do me a favor. When you see Jim, you give him this. That's really how I look. And when he feels sad, this will cheer him up. All he has to do is look at it, and he will feel very lucky that I left him. And now why don't you leave, Heath?
He loves you. You know that, don't you?
That's not my fault.
I think it is. Whatever Jim is, he's not a fool. You gave him back something.
But not love. Maybe kindness to an old man, but not love. Anyway, it's over. It's all over. You said he loved me? Well, he didn't. He loved a girl called Nancy Briggs.
But in Jim's eyes, you were Nancy Briggs.
I'm tired, Heath. I'm going home. Good night.
Mind if I walk with you?
Suit yourself. There's a gun pointed at you right across the street. I swear I didn't know he was here.
Hey, ready?
Cup of coffee before we ride out?
I would catch some on the range.
What are you so worried about? You did all you could. You brought her back. The rest of it's up to Jim.
That's right.
That is if she has the guts to tell him the truth.
She'll tell him.
And Jim should take it.
Good morning. Aren't you going to have any coffee before you leave?
No, Mother. Heath here is just itching to catch up with some branding he owes me, so we gotta get going.
We'll see you later, Mother. Oh, if there's any news from Nancy and Jim, would you send one of the hands out and let me know?
No, I think I'll ride over myself.
I get it. Oh, Nancy, Jim, come on in.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heath.
Next time you kiss Nancy, you'll be kissing the bride.
Well, congratulations, Jim.
Oh, I'm so happy for both of you.
Best wishes to you, Jim.
Thanks. Victoria, I'd appreciate it if you'd handle all the wedding arrangements. Heath, I'd like you to be best man.
We'd like it.
how do you like that? She's arguing with me already. We'd like you as best man.